Alright y'all, so in today's video, we are going to be talking about Berserk 2016. And I personally believe Berserk 2016 is a misunderstood masterpiece. And in this video, we're not going to really talk about the negatives. I can get to that towards the very end of this video because most of the internet has already destroyed Berserk 2016. They don't say anything positive about the series, but in this video, I'm going to be telling you guys why I love it so much. But before I get to that, you guys have to understand where I'm coming from. So let me give you guys a brief history of my time with Berserk. So when I was a kid, I watched like 30 minutes of the first Berserk movie. I think it came out in like 2012. Watched the first 30 minutes. I didn't really like it like that because I was a kid. Berserk is a serious, realistic series. There wasn't anything flashy on the screen. I was like, I don't like this. So I stopped watching that movie. Then many years later, around 2019 or 2020, I just kept hearing about Berserk over and over and over again about how great it was. So I decided to give it another shot. I watched Berserk 97, and I believe Berserk 97, it was great for its time. I enjoyed the voice acting, the art style. The animation is obviously, rough because it was the 90s, but for the most part, for its time, I enjoyed what Berserk 97 was. But Berserk 97 stops during the middle of the eclipse. So after I finished that, I was like, I have to know more. So what I decided to do was I went out and I read the manga. I'm currently not finished with the manga. I'm still far behind with the current releasing chapters of Berserk, but I decided to read the manga. The manga is great in many ways, but as I was reading, I was like, I wonder how did they adapt these parts in the manga and the new animations that wasn't from 1997. So I decided to watch the three Berserk movies, the ones from, I believe it was 2012 and 2013 when they released, and I thought that those movies were pretty good. Now, they did feel a little bit rushed. The scene with Nosferatu Zod, the first time when we see him in the 1997 series, it felt epic, it felt grand. It was like, what is this? But, in the movies, it felt like they kind of rushed it and, quickly got past what Zod was. It didn't even include the bonfire of dreams, which is extremely important to the character of Guts. And then I just felt like we didn't really get to know the Band of the Hawk like that. But just in general, I really did like the movies, and after that, I wanted to see more Berserk animation. I had to see how, they adapted this series because the 97 anime covered the Golden Age arc, and the movies cover the Golden Age arc. But people kept on telling me, stay away from Berserk 2016. So I looked up some clips from Berserk 2016, and so yeah, I saw that. I saw the animation. I was like, okay, I understand why people are telling me to stay away from this. But eventually, my curiosity got the best of me, and I decided to watch Berserk 2016. And this is not a joke. I'm not trolling. I'm being so serious when I say this. I love Berserk 2016. And I believe if you can get over the sound effects, which honestly, they don't even use that frying pan sound effect or whatever that thing is. They don't even use that sound effect that often. It's only like once or twice an episode. You can get over that. And then if you can get over the art style, the way that it looks, if you can get over those things, I think you can honestly have a pretty good time watching the series. So to start this series, Berserk 2016, they do an excellent job in building a legend. And I love that in any series, when you can build a legend, this mysterious figure, I love it. And that's what they do with the Black Swordsman and Guts. They start off with the Holy See searching for Guts, and them talking about how evil he is. He's a killer, he's done this, he's done that. And throughout this entire show, they just keep on building the legend of the Black Swordsman. I love that. In any TV show, movie, anything like that, when you can build a legend, I love it. And then also, in the background, they even talk about the Band of the Hawk like they're legends. Even though that was only like 3-4 years ago, they talk about the Hawks in the past tense like, oh yeah, do you remember that crew who, a few years ago, they did this, they did that. I love that in any show or series. So with Berserk 2016, they showed me a part of Berserk that I didn't think that, we will really see. They showed this religious part to Berserk. I think they're called the Holy See or something like that. The people who Farnese is a part of. Being introduced to this religious part of Berserk was very interesting and intriguing. And, speaking on the new characters that we get introduced into this series, Farnese, she's this religious, strong, fierce leader who is deep down inside really hollow, really a shell. You know, that scene where Guts is captured and he's speaking to her, he really cuts deep into who she really is, and she has a lot of room to grow. So being introduced to that character, Farnese, I love the way that she was presented in this series. Father Mosgus, oh my gosh, one of the best villains I've seen in a very long time. Everything from the design of Father Mosgus, the voice actor for him that they chose for the sub and the dub, because I watched both and I like the voice actor for both of them. And he just had this scary vibe to him. Like, he was a man of his conviction. He believed in exactly everything that he was saying. If you talked about his religion, if you talked about his God, you're gonna die, you're gonna face serious consequences. So I really applaud Berserk 2016 for presenting these characters in this way. Farnese, Father Moskus, I really loved them and the way that they were introduced. And you know, the Holy See, the idea that they're fighting against these heretics, these people who are, you know, against their religion, and then also the Kushan or Kushan, I forget how it's pronounced, that empire, how they're the complete opposite of the Holy See's religion. I like that aspect as well. And then something else that continues to shine in every series that I watch from Berserk is the music. Hirasawa's music here in Berserk is just as good as ever. You have some soundtracks which are, you know, slower and beautiful. But then again, at the same time, you have some other soundtracks that are just hardcore. You know, and then you also have these mysterious, scary, you know, in the background type music. Just overall, 2016 Berserk has some amazing music. Something else that I love about 2016 Berserk, the fight scenes. I know that this is something that many people would disagree with me on, but the fight scenes in this series, I really did enjoy them. Seeing Guts just slash through a cool, you know, 5-10 soldiers out of nowhere, it's just always fun to see. And the way that they have this camera work where, you know, the camera will start off like at the top of Guts' head, and then it'll go down all the way to his arm, and then it'll go to the sword. Then we'll get a full shot from the top to the bottom of the sword. Just the camera work in this series is just masterful. It's some of the best camera work that I've seen in all of anime, if I'm being honest with you guys. And then lastly, I would say that, you know, you get some beautiful shots sometimes in this show. And then Berserk 2016, the way that they have this tone, it's very serious, it's pretty dark, it fits the vibe of Berserk the manga. We got the epic return of Griffith at the end of season 1. It was epic, it was amazing. I love how they kept on building and giving us, you know, little hints every now and then to the God Hand, little hints every now and then to Griffith, and then when we see him, it's this epic thing. It really did feel like a journey all throughout this season. And then the last positive point that I would say is that when Guts saved Casca, that was an epic scene. It was literally one shot directly from the manga. It was amazing. So I could talk all day about why I love Berserk 2016, but I guess I will speak a little bit on some of the bad, even though the internet has already destroyed this series. Number one, Guts, he talks too much, in my personal opinion. You know, at this current point in the story, I think that Guts should be a little bit more quiet, because in this series, he's very edgy. He talks a lot. You know, I would just prefer at this point with Guts in his life for him to be a man of, you know, few words, but when he does speak, it's very impactful. He talks way too much in Berserk 2016. Casca constantly running away, it's just annoying. I wish that she would stay in the area that, you know, the rest of her friends are. because it feels like Casca is just a plot device right now where she runs away, Guts has to go save her so that we can get more and more conflict. I'm currently watching 2017 Berserk, season 2 of this show, and it's basically the same thing. Casca runs away again, she gets caught by some bandits, Guts has to save her. I just really don't like that little trope that they're going with her. Another thing from my notes is that a lot of these scenes were rushed. It was one shot in particular where in the manga it's just beautiful, where you see Nosferatu Zod, but in the series it just went by just like that. It was like half a second. So again, just they were going too fast. It was really rushed. And then the last thing that I would say is that Berserk 2016 is pretty typical. It's this edgy, angry, it feels like a typical regular story with just high action. I understand why Berserk fans don't like it, because Berserk is this special thing. It's something where it has some scary dark moments, but at the same time some heartfelt moments. And Berserk and the creator Kentaro Miura, he really took the time to slowly build these things up, where in this series Berserk 2016 everything is just rushed. The emotion, it's there in some parts. You still get the scary aspect, but the emotions that hit you in your heart is not necessarily there at certain times. But that's all that I have to say about Berserk 2016. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Thank y'all for 7,000 subscribers on my main channel, and thank you guys for 300 subscribers over here on my backup channel. I'm out.